Why do some athletes become billionaires while others lose everything after retirement? Behind the spotlight, elite sports stars are not just earning salaries. They are building financial empires that continue growing long after their careers end. In this video, we explore how top athletes transform fame into long-term wealth using smart investments, ownership deals, and global business strategies. You will see how contracts, companies, and investments reshape their future beyond sport. Let's break down the real system that turns short careers into lifelong financial power nowadays. The new economy of elite athletes. Modern elite athletes operate in a completely different financial world compared to previous generations. A professional sports career is extremely short, often lasting less than 6 years at peak performance. Because of this limited time window, athletes today are forced to think like entrepreneurs while still actively competing. Instead of depending only on salaries or sponsorship contracts, they build long-term wealth systems that continue generating income long after retirement. This includes ownership in companies, investment portfolios, media ventures, and equity-based partnerships. Fame is no longer the final product. It is just the entry point into larger financial ecosystems. The smartest athletes treat their career like a startup phase, where attention and performance are converted into scalable assets. Once this shift happens, their income stops being linear and becomes exponential. 1. From fixed payments to equity ownership. One of the most powerful shifts in modern sports finance is moving away from fixed endorsement payments toward equity-based deals. Instead of accepting one-time marketing fees, elite athletes now negotiate ownership stakes in companies they promote or collaborate with. This strategy allows their income to grow alongside the success of the business itself. The more the brand expands globally, the more their wealth increases without additional effort. A strong example of this approach is Lionel Messi's move to Inter Miami. Instead of relying purely on traditional salary structures, his compensation model is linked with revenue streams, such as international streaming through Apple TV, MLS Season Pass, and global merchandise sales through Adidas partnerships. This means his financial growth is directly connected to the expansion of the entire league ecosystem. This model transforms athletes from paid promoters into long-term business partners with scalable income potential. 2. Venture capital and startup investments. Another major wealth-building strategy among elite athletes is participation in venture capital and early-stage technology investments. Instead of saving money in traditional ways, athletes now deploy capital into high-growth startups and innovation-driven companies. These investments are usually made through personal venture funds or exclusive investment syndicates that give access to private funding rounds before companies become publicly known. The goal is simple: capture equity early in companies that may become global leaders. Cristiano Ronaldo represents this strategy through diversified investments in technology and wellness companies, including high-growth firms in wearable fitness and artificial intelligence search platforms. His approach reflects a shift from sports income to tech-driven capital expansion. Similarly, Serena Williams has built one of the most respected athlete-led venture firms. Through Serena Ventures, she has invested in more than 60 startups, with a strong focus on supporting diverse founders and emerging industries. This model allows athletes to participate in innovation economies rather than relying only on sports-related income. 3. Owning products and controlling intellectual property. Instead of lending their names to external brands, modern athletes increasingly build their own companies. This allows them to control product design, marketing, supply chains, and long-term profit structures. Owning intellectual property means they capture the full value of their brand instead of receiving a small licensing fee. Over time, these companies can become independent business empires. A strong example of this strategy is Matthew Flamini, who co-founded GF Biochemicals. Instead of creating a traditional fashion or lifestyle brand, he entered the industrial green chemistry sector, focusing on producing sustainable chemical alternatives. This long-term approach created enterprise value that is completely independent of his football career. This model represents a deeper level of financial thinking where athletes shift from brand ambassadors to industrial founders. It also opens the door for eventual public listings or large-scale acquisitions. 4. Buying scarce, high-value assets. Another powerful wealth strategy used by elite athletes is converting fast, short-term earnings into long-term appreciating assets that generate stability and generational wealth. Instead of keeping wealth in liquid form or relying only on endorsements, many athletes allocate capital into real estate, hospitality projects, and ownership of sports franchises. These assets are limited in supply, which naturally increases their value over time as demand grows and markets expand. The key advantage of this strategy is control and scarcity. Unlike sponsorship deals that expire, physical and equity-based assets continue to generate cash flow for decades, while also increasing in market value. This creates financial security that is not dependent on performance or public attention. A strong example of this approach is David Beckham. He secured a Major League Soccer expansion option for around $25 million, which later evolved into Inter Miami CF. As the league expanded globally and high-profile players joined the project, the club's valuation surged beyond $1 billion. What began as a contractual opportunity transformed into a major institutional sports asset with global brand recognition. This strategy highlights how elite athletes leverage timing, influence, and early access to convert career earnings into ownership of rare, high-value enterprises that continue to grow long after their playing careers end. 5. Shifting to institutional joint ventures. As athlete brands grow into multi-million and billion-dollar ecosystems, many move away from individually managed business structures and shift toward institutional joint ventures. In this model, athletes partner with major financial institutions, private equity firms, and asset management companies that provide operational expertise, structured capital, and global expansion capabilities. Instead of handling every business decision personally, athletes delegate execution to professional teams while retaining strategic control over direction and ownership. This separation allows them to scale faster, reduce operational risk, and enter global markets that would be difficult to access independently. A strong example of this structure is LeBron James. He consolidated his media, entertainment, and production ventures into the SpringHill Company, creating a unified brand ecosystem. This company later attracted major investment from Redbird Capital Partners, a move that significantly increased its institutional credibility and financial scale. Through this partnership model, LeBron maintained ownership and influence while gaining access to large-scale capital networks and professional corporate management systems. This hybrid structure transforms a personal brand into a scalable enterprise capable of operating across global media and entertainment industries. This approach fundamentally changes how athlete businesses function. Instead of being personality-driven ventures, they evolve into structured corporations with long-term valuation potential. It also links sports influence with institutional finance, allowing athlete-led brands to compete directly with traditional media conglomerates and global entertainment corporations on a much larger economic scale. The Athlete Wealth Accelerator Model. Modern athlete wealth creation follows a structured financial cycle that transforms short-term sporting income into long-term economic power. During the active career phase, athletes operate in a high-liquidity environment where earnings peak rapidly due to salaries, sponsorships, and global media exposure. However, the smartest athletes do not treat this phase as purely income generation. Instead, they use it as a strategic window to build equity positions in companies, secure long-term commercial partnerships, and enter early-stage growth markets that can multiply their wealth beyond sport. As the career phase progresses, attention shifts from earnings to ownership. Athletes begin positioning themselves inside business ecosystems where their brand influence becomes a financial asset. This includes structured investments, revenue-sharing agreements, and participation in scalable ventures that extend their financial reach beyond physical performance. After retirement, the model transitions into passive wealth generation. At this stage, income is no longer tied to physical activity, but instead flows through dividends, equity appreciation, intellectual property rights, media rights, and ownership stakes in companies or franchises. The financial decisions made during the active years begin to compound, creating exponential long-term growth rather than linear income. This system demonstrates that elite athletes function less like traditional employees and more like strategic capital allocators. Their advantage lies in timing, global influence, and the ability to understand and position themselves within evolving international markets before value peaks. Elite athletes today operate like global investment entities. Their success is no longer defined only by performance, but by how effectively they convert fame into ownership, equity, and long-term financial systems. The transition from salary-based income to diversified asset ownership is what separates short-term wealth from generational wealth. Elite athletes today are not just sports icons. They are builders of global financial systems that continue growing long after retirement. From venture capital to ownership deals and institutional partnerships, their wealth strategies are reshaping modern sports economics. If this breakdown helped you understand how fame turns into long-term wealth, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more deep insights into sports, money, and business systems shaping the modern world.